Hey everyone, Jake here because Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2's reveal trailer has a ton of information crammed into it. So I want to take you through everything we know about this Smash Brothers styled crossover fighter. Let's get right into it and start with the roster. So in total, we've got April O'Neil, Garfield, SpongeBob SquarePants, Korra, Aang, Rocco, Lucy Loud, Patrick Star, Ren and Stimpy, Nigel Thornberry, Jenny, Invader Zim, Danny Phantom, Reptar, Raphael, Donatello, Squidward, and Jimmy Neutron. So that is 18 characters, and there are 11 missing from the original game, which I will throw up on the screen right now. Now, what's weird here is that the characters that I put an asterisk next to their name, they do appear in the trailer, but only in the beginning when footage of the first game is being shown. See, the trailer does this transformational Super Smash Bros. Brawl-esque thing to go from the first game to the second. Now, footage from the first game is clearly marked as such, but would it be weird to include somebody like Sandy Cheeks in the literal video for this new game, though they aren't playable in it? Maybe, but it could also just serve as another data point in terms of showing players how different the games are from each other. I definitely don't feel like every veteran from the first game is guaranteed to appear here though, and I wouldn't be surprised if even all 11 of these characters were indeed out. Now, returning to that box art, you probably see Vlad Plasmius from Danny Phantom there, and you're thinking, Jake, are you blind? Maybe, but check this out. In official press materials, publisher Game Mill Entertainment tells us about a new campaign mode, and they say, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 will launch with a unique campaign featuring roguelike elements. Put your skills to the test as you fight to stop Danny Phantom archvillain Vlad Plasmius from taking over the Nickelodeon universe. So the question now is Vlad playable or just like a boss-type character? And I think we might have the answer. So heading over now to an interview with Polygon, a Nick Brawl developer described their brand new roguelike story campaign as such. Basically, we have a main storyline and you start with SpongeBob. As you progress, you unlock characters which you can use in the campaign, and each character has his/her unique storylines. The structure is the same on roguelike games. You progress through a series of battles, and if you lose, you keep some of your progress, characters unlocked, currencies, etc., and use it to further your progress on your next try until you reach the end. And of course, in the middle, we have cool opponents, bosses, and other elements unique to the campaign. So right there, I think that the developer confirms that there will be opponents and bosses unique to the campaign, and I do think that Vlad in particular is perfect as a non-playable fighter. As a ghost creature like Danny Phantom, Vlad has the ability to possess and control other people, meaning he could very easily act as a functional excuse to fight other characters in the game. Imagine this. You start with SpongeBob, and maybe Squidward is possessed by Vlad. So you beat up Squidward, Vlad flees from his body to the next character, and now Squidward is freed up to join your roster, basically like how it's being described by the developer in that interview. But Vlad is also on the cover of the game. So I could go either way here. You know, it would be awesome if he was, in addition to the mechanic that I'm theorizing here, playable too in the game as his own fighter. That would be awesome. Okay, now let's focus on our confirmed newcomers. First, we have Squidward. We see him perform an upward launching attack with his clarinet, an attack in which he summons his bold and brash painting, a taunt that features his Captain Magma helmet, and his entrance animation sees Squidward just trying to take a bath. Oh, and we get this animation. I'm guessing this is either another taunt or a specific moment tied to the story mode. There's also an appearance by Handsome Squidward, but I'll come back to that later. Raphael and Donatello are the two new turtle characters, and they are not as heavily featured in this trailer, with only a couple attacks shown between them, so I'm gonna jump immediately to Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy's entrance animation shows him arriving in a rocket ship. It looks like he performs a special upwards throw on April O'Neil using some kind of gadget, and then he follows that up with a series of kicks, and that is all we get from Jimmy, so hopefully we see more soon. I should mention that a lot of our characters here have some costumes too. We get a good look at Squidward in his Band Geeks attire. and Painter Squidward, though I am not entirely sold on this not just being a part of that particular attack's visuals. SpongeBob has his Smitty Warbin Jaegerman Jensen hat that he had in the last game, and Patrick has a Barnacle Boy outfit. The pre-order bonus of the game has apparently leaked too, and we now know that it's Patrick's elastic waistband costume, so he can finally touch his toes. Now I'm really hoping that that means we'll see the Quickster as an outfit for SpongeBob. I love the Quickster. Now let's transition into talking about some of the new gameplay mechanics. It is worth noting that a developer on the title said that 98% of the game has been built from scratch. This likely explains why so many veterans seem to be missing, but on the plus side, it's really cool that every character here has a newly imagined moveset. So I played a lot of SpongeBob and Danny Phantom in the first game, and almost all of their moves here are definitely new. Danny never had a projectile like the one you see him throw down here, and while some moves are definitely the same idea, their animations and properties appear to be altered pretty significantly. And while we're talking about Danny Phantom, can the developers please make it so his chest logo is facing the right direction no matter what? What is this? What is this backwards D? Absolutely not. Get rid of that. Though, I gotta give the developers credit because Danny Phantom specifically looks so much better than he did in the first game. It's not that it was the eyebrows, it was terrible. Alright. But anyways, the game appears to play differently than the first, like all around, from a holistic perspective. The biggest addition, though, I think has to be the meter next to every fighter's portrait. A full meter, presumably, allows a character to perform a special attack or a super attack, like a final smash. We see this happen with Squidward's Handsome Squid Super, and probably here with Patrick holding his house above his head. What's really cool is that the meter seems to behave less like a Final Smash meter and more like a meter from Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. A couple of times in the trailer, we see moves altered to have additional properties. The most obvious example is here with SpongeBob blowing 3 bubbles instead of 1 with his neutral special, and Patrick following up an attack here to extend his combo. Now in both instances, characters express green auras, reminiscent of Nickelodeon slime. At other points in the trailer, we even see characters rewarded after successful attacks with a green ball of slime that they absorb. So I think it's safe to say and assume that this slime is what powers your meter, and you can burn portions of that meter by altering your moves with added offensive or defensive properties. I really like the idea of a platform fighter taking this from traditional fighting games, and I'm excited to see how it comes together in Nick Brawl 2. Not only does it add a level of resource management to the game, but there's extra room for creativity, and it expands every character's moveset considerably, in theory. Cool stuff. Okay, some other details. The game's press release mentions that Nick Brawl 2 will feature minigames. Minigame Mayhem. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 introduces all new minigames to play alone or with friends. Compete for global leaderboard high scores in Pinch the Blimps, Whack-A-Bot, and Irken Armada Boot Camp Survival. The first game was pretty content light, so having a story campaign and minigames at launch feels like a huge improvement. Now, unlike the first game, this one also features voice acting for all characters at launch and full crossplay for PlayStation consoles, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC, with an enhanced netcode, even though I thought that the first one was pretty good. Finally, retailers have the release date listed as October 24th, 2023. The base game is $50. The digital deluxe edition is $70 and includes the season pass for the game, and the ultimate edition has all of that plus an extra costume per character for 80 bones. That season pass is $25 if you want to buy it on its own, and contains 4 DLC characters plus an exclusive SpongeBob Quickster whoa! Quickster costume? That's the I literally said in this video, that's the costume I wanted. Let's go. I should have looked at this before. Heck yeah. Okay. And with that, everything we know about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. But I should mention that there's a very prominent and likely rumor/leak circulating online, but we already have a video up on the channel about that, so check it out if you want a potential sneak peek at the full roster of the game. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Goodbye.